Hey, welcome back to the Social Business Engine Show, and I'm bringing you even more interviews from Social Fresh, so let's roll. Here we go.
My name is Nick Cicero. I'm the editor of socialfresh.com, and I also am the director of client strategy for Expion, a social software company.
Awesome. Nick, I would like your perspective on where do you think we are in this journey, this social business journey? Where do you think we are and where we're headed?
So I think that, in my opinion, having looked at a couple of different companies and a couple of different types of disciplines, so to speak, is I think that we're at the point where it's really about scaling and diversifying and breaking down silos inside of organizations. At Expion, we work with a lot of large enterprise clients like the Coca-Colas, the Oreos, the Univisions of the world. And every department has a way to use social in their own right. Some of them may be using monitoring or listening to track, customer complaints, or they're looking to moderate and then respond to somebody with customer service, or looking to create content and publish content, and they're looking for trends and analysis of other things that are happening in the marketplace. And so I think that there's so many different departments now who are aware and recognize the need for social. And so I think that we're really getting to the point where you're trying to operationalize and organize how that basically is executed across these different business departments.
So it's becoming a lot more structured, a lot more organized.
I think so, and I think that the structure in the organization comes, and I think that's always going to be the most difficult part, but I think the awareness is what's coming along a lot faster than ever has before. And I think that people acknowledge the need for these tools, acknowledge the need for these systems in place. Now, granted, some may have a better understanding of how to move forward than others, but I think that awareness piece is starting to grow at a pace that I don't think I've ever seen it before personally.
Okay, terrific. What do you see as the role of the employee in a social business?
Wow. I think that depends on the employee and it depends on the business, but I think in general, we're moving to this role of advocacy, and I think that I'm sure that, you've heard that a lot, and I think everybody talks about it. But, it is, and people are brands online these days in a way. It sounds kind of callous to say that, but in a way, we always exert some type of influence, whether it's large or small. And so that you do have a lot more touch points with your employees that are far more public in a way that I don't think that businesses have ever thought about their employees being public like that. And so I think that the role of the employee should always be an ambassador of the company. In my opinion, you work, you get a paycheck, you should love it. You try to. We all have our jobs that we don't like, but you should want to be a part that. You want to be a part of this experience. And I think that the employees are probably the best at the ground level. And they also have the experience and they can hear things maybe that other folks don't. Your employees are out there, they have lives, they have their own friends and family circles. They're hearing a lot of different things that you don't necessarily hear when people talk about your business. So.
Right. Nick, what advice would you have to any organization or in any industry that's really early in their social business journey?
So I would say that one of the most important things that you should be doing now is listening. I think that that's probably if you were to invest any amount of dollars in software or resources, is being able to listen to the conversations that are happening right now before you start speaking, before you start executing. By taking it in and doing all that research, and by continuing to do that research, I think that you arm yourself with far better tools to succeed than if you just start jumping in and creating based on what you think. I always tell people, and I'm working on building a new content company on the side where I basically pair content creators with really popular enterprise brands to help tell better stories. I've always said that brands are really great at telling the stories that they want to tell, and creators are great at telling the stories they want to hear. And so if a brand wants to get involved in telling a story, they should first listen to the audience and figure out what they want to hear before they start creating that story.
Outstanding advice. Nick Cicero, thank you so much
for
being on the
Bernie.
Social Business Engine Show here at Social Fresh.
That's great to be here.